my big aha moment. So I just wanted to share that I found that all this wisdom are healing of what's in the Quran, but we have to do this action of like going to the Quran, opening it up, and it's to connect with this frequencies. And the Quran holds frequencies of healing, tawfiq, answers, all that kind of mercy, it's in it. So I kind of connected it with like a battery. Like Quran is like, so basically like a battery stores potential energy. When you attach it to a circuit, it changes like potential energy into kinetic energy. So that's the energy that makes you like movement, and like it transmutes your energy, right? So
Mhm.
I kind of thought about it and I was like, Quran is a endless quantum storage system, which runs on this quantum battery. So every time we have a problem, we can open the Quran, and then when we find our like these aha moments, gems, are like a specific ayah, it's like we are attracting the frequency of the solution to ourselves. And then we are entangling, which we call it like quantum entanglement, with that frequency. That's what it gives us sukoon.
Hmm. That's true.
So something like the fact that and then like I took some 1 or 2 days to go more deeper into this, and I was like, because in NLP we also say frequency, in frequency, like frequency attracts like frequency, right? So the Quran is held at a next level frequency, and Allah has put it like sometimes we say, for example, when we do ruqya, as Sadia was mentioning, you have a Sharia way of it. Like you can do the Fatiha,
Hmm.
the Kul, the Ayatul Kursi, the last two verses of Baqarah. So why those? Why
Hmm.
not like Surah Nisa, for example, right? Because they have a certain healing frequency, right? So then I kept thinking about it, and I was like, there is something else about Quran. It is now Akal is gonna laugh, but it's also like a type of portal, right? Because when you open the Quran, it's a book of frequencies. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you quantumly entangle with these frequencies, you collapse you collapse
The
so
wave,
many
yeah.
things to the wave to then instantaneously resolve a problem, or instantaneously find sukoon, or instantaneously you're like, oh, like, I got my answer, and it happens a lot in tahajjud too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was just thinking that it's you collapse you install anchors, like for example, now what we're studying about the gems, I realized like this wal asr is going to be an anchor for me now. Every time I'm somewhere in the
Mm-hmm.
future and I'm like, oh, it's asr time, I'll be like, oh, it's squeezing, I need to quickly get my prayer in.
Mm-hmm.
So it changes our perception. And then I realized like it's also something, the Quran is a miracle. It's layers of miracle, but it's also something that can help you quantum jump. So the
Hmm.
new age way,
Absolutely.
the people always say like, yeah, you have to do like this sort of manifestation or this and that, but everything is there in the Quran. I feel that when new reverts revert to Islam, or even when we, some Muslims, like sometimes we just don't pray, and then Iman is low and then it becomes high again. I feel like but mostly when non-believers revert to Islam, I feel like Allah gives them a clean slate, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
quantum jump spiritually to a place of a new frequency and a new paradigm and viewpoint of the world, and their life is completely changed after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You remember,
So
Muniba,
this,
we discussed
yeah,
about
yeah,
this young double slit experiment about
yes,
light.
yes,
That
yes.
the scientists, they were studying light, and the light has so many possibilities. So they were checking the light if it is a wave or a particle, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
here exactly, when you are talking this, then that's exactly what we learn in an experiment of young double slit experiment, that light as a wave function have a lot of possibilities to go anywhere, right? But when the light particle knows it's being observed, it collapses the wave function and appear as how it is observed. You remember that one?
Yes.
Right, okay, so then I was thinking also about this one, that how Allah mentioned Quran as light as well. Allah himself is Noor. Light basically we translate as a Noor, right? So Allah himself is Noor. Allah mentioned Quran as light as well. So if it's like you are going everywhere, you know, it's like, you know, your, and we have light inside because our ruh is actually what is being given from Allah himself, right, as a breath, and it is light also. So our light, if it is not being observed under light, okay, under Noor, we are everywhere. But once we know that, even we know that Allah is observing us, you know, or we are following the Quran and we are observing, so our wave function collapsed, and we actually as if how we are observing it. So that's also a very important point, because Allah mentions himself like he is Noor, Quran is Noor, we have Noor inside of us. So these all lights experiments, you know, like, so I was searching also. I mean, last time I think I shared about this experiment of what we call it, when light falls into a metal. I forgot the name. Arifa, do you remember the name last time we discussed?
I'm trying to remember, but I know the experiment, but I'm unable to
So
remember. The it
there
was
is a phenomena
metal.
of physics. There is a phenomena of
Yeah,
physics. Okay. That there is a metal. Okay. If light falls on the metal, so the electrons of, there are different types of metal, so there are electrons revolving along around the metal. Okay, when electron is revolving around the metal, there are different types of electrons. Some electrons are very closely bound towards the nucleus when it's revolving. Some electron are a little bit far. Okay, so when light falls on a metal, so when it falls on a metal, it actually extract electron out of the metal, emit electron out of the metal. But the emission of the electron only depends upon few factors. Number one, the falling of the light, the frequency of the light that is being falling upon a metal. Okay, if the frequency of the light is intense enough, the frequency is so high, it can emit the electrons. Okay, that's one position. Another position is the electrons are loosely bound towards the nucleus, they are very far when they are revolving, so as soon as the light falls, it emits. Okay, another thing is, electron will not emit no matter how much high frequency light is being falling upon a metal. It will not emit the electron if electron is rusted, or it has, you know, some rust over it, or it is like covered. It will not, because the electron is rusted. Now if you take this concept and apply to us, if we are a metal, yes, photoelectric effect, exactly. So if we are a metal, our heart is metal. If our heart is rusted, okay, it's dirty, it's rusted, no matter whatever light frequency, Quran and Noor, and it's falling upon the heart, it will not able to emit the electric effect. Okay, doesn't matter, because your heart is rusted already. And that's why what Allah said, khatam allahi qulubihim, that Allah put the seal of the on the heart. Khatam Allah. So when the heart got sealed, it means it got rusted. So when it is rusted, no matter whatever frequency it's falling upon the heart, it will not emit the light. Okay, but if the heart is pure, or if the metal of our heart our metal is pure, okay, and this is also, and so that frequency of light will fall, it will emit the light, it will spread the light. Another matter, if you are, see, when we say electron are tightly bound towards nucleus, okay, it still, it will not emit the electron, because, and what is nucleus, and how we can tightly bound towards the nucleus? When we are tightly bound about worldly gains in the world. When Allah said the zinatul hayat dunya, when you are tightly bound towards the zenith of dunya, you are connected very closely towards the dunya, then your all focus is this dunya, is this world, right? At that point, no matter you are being, light is falling over you, you will not emit the light. The real ruh will not come out, or the emission will not happen, because your whole circulation is towards the dunya. The center of attraction, the center of it is a nucleus, and the electrons are very tightly bound towards the center of the nucleus. So it will not even emit the electron if you are completely in very close towards dunya. So that's why we know that we should not too much concern about dunya. We have something that is afterworld also, and that's where you lose dunya's impact. You will not be impact about those things, so you still revolve around the world, but not tightly bound towards only the world. And that's when the light falls, it emits the electrons. And then of course it should be a right light, which means a higher frequency light. It's not any light can emit the electron. The light that has the high frequency, as Muniba is mentioning, that Quran is the frequency. Quran has frequencies. Quran have all these vibrations and frequency that can raise the frequency of that. Even the sound we discussed yesterday, the sound wave also is a specific sound wave with a specific tilawa. So this is also very beautiful. Just thank you, Muniba, that you reminded me about this.
Yeah, you're welcome. I had just a little bit more to add for that. Um, about the I did I had a question. Um, can quantum energy power houses? Okay, and the answer that like the internet gave me was it is done by quantum storage systems that release the stored energy smoothly and efficiently, maintaining a steady power supply to your home. So what is a quantum storage system is that's why I was calling like the Quran, it's a book of frequencies, like a book of healing. That's why it can make you quantum jump. It can, if your heart has been rusted for a long time, it has divine frequencies to unrust it. But when it says it releases the stored energy to maintain this and a steady power supply, it means the Quran will always, those words will always have like a source, a special divine frequency supply for us. We just have to open each chapter and entangle ourselves with that frequency, and that's when we get our answers or tawfiq or whatever it is that we need. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that.
Beautiful. Yes, Sadia.
Yeah, two things. So number one, we're talking about sounds and frequency. So when I had undergone this ruqya, I think 2 years back, I decided I'm not going to listen to music anymore at all. And I love music, like whether it's Pakistani music, Punjabi music, American, I used to get very excited and, dance, and I completely stopped. I've completely stopped. And when I'm driving, I listen to the Quran. Initially, it was very, very hard for me. I would literally be like, my brain is like in another level. It was like I was sluggish. But now, you know what I've found? If I go somewhere where there's music, my whole system gets disrupted. I feel really weird. Like I enjoy it, but when I hear the loud music, I feel very off. I don't feel like the same person, that I was. That's one. Secondly, to add to Muniba, what you were saying, what I've been doing for a long time is I read the Quran in Arabic, but then I read the translation in English. There has never been a single time that the Quran has not spoken to me, whatever I'm going through, no matter what. When I was moving apartments, I asked for guidance. I found it in the Quran. When I was going through other issues, anything personal, business, work, anything, you find the Quran, you ask for guidance, you get the answer, and you have to find the answer. It's like what we learned in NLP. You get on the journey opens up. So I just wanted to share these things. I mean, we have to make the Quran a part of our life all the time, not just something we put on the bookshelf wrapped in a cloth. Once a year we take it out, we kiss it. It has to be all the time.
Of course, all the time. Great.
I would just want to add something quickly to what Sadia said. I usually don't share this because you're not supposed to share your sins of the past, but if it's like a moral story where people can learn from it, I think it's okay. I used to play guitar for 8 years. I was playing rock. I was listening to metal music. Music was my life.
Mm.
And I played like almost professional level, like in a rock band, okay? Like I already played with a rock band in Canada. So the thing is that the same thing happened to me. I started listening to Quran every day in the car when I used to go to work. And like it used to alternate between Quran and whatever's on the FM.
Mm.
One day I slapped my radio off. I felt, when we change the submodalities from liking ice cream to hating ice cream,
Mm.
and you have that
Mhm.
feeling of disgust,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
felt like a very strong feeling like that. And I slapped, like I closed it, and I was just like, I hate this music. I'm never gonna listen. And I quit music like years ago. Years ago, I just stopped. And because what was happening is because, like mathematically, I was doing 50-50. So the frequency of the Quran, the frequency was so high that
Mhm.
I couldn't stay in that low vibration anymore. And it made me like overpower it and quit it. So that's something that happened to me with what you were talking about music. So I felt I went through almost a similar experience. And I
Exactly
completely
same,
agree
same,
that the
same
divine
similar
frequencies are
experience.
very high. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly same experience happened. Is actually is continuing happening with me because I also stopped 2 years before. Okay, I mean before 2 years, even in my trainings, I used to play music. Remember,
I
Sadia?
remember.
And we were
Yeah.
dancing, and then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
completely stopped. Even on the break, I used to play music like "Heal the
Mm.
World" and all of
Yeah.
those.
The
And then
Michael Jackson song.
yeah, and completely stopped it like since 2 years. So much so that of course when we are going out with the family, my husband plays this the song in the car, and literally for me, if every single second when the music is being played in the car, I am focusing on two things: the rhythm and the lyrics.
Mhm.
And I'm just keep saying, oh, this is haram, oh, see what they are saying. So they, like, so I mean, they are my family, they are saying, my husband, I mean, come on, come out of it, just enjoy the music. Why are you focusing on each and every word and how it's going up and how it's going down? And I cannot stop because I know it's changing my, and I feel bad. I mean, whenever I'm hearing it, I'm connecting the words, I'm connecting the frequency. Oh, it's taking me up, and immediately it puts me down. Oh, which part of my body I'm feeling to move my, with that frequency. What, remember, frequencies, when vibration happen, your body moves. Yeah, you take an action state or state. Remember, in NLP you talk about your programming change your state, and your state make you an action. So state puts you into action. So I'm thinking, okay, by this, what part of my body is coming into an action? If I'm feeling a music and I'm moving it, which part of my body feels to take an action unconsciously? And why this part of the body is taking an action? Why I'm feeling to move my part of the body without me realizing it? It's just
Mhm.
automatic. So that's actually, my whole journey. When I'm going out, it's just going this way. So I'm not enjoying even going out with the in this way, and the song is being played in the car, because it's just because when you are, as Maniba said rightly, when you raise your frequency and some low vibration is trying to attract, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it pulls you down, right?
Yeah, it pulls you down. If you continue it, and immediately you go down, because again, negative has more power than positive, in that sense, because you are trying to push yourself into high vibration, but you are in the, and then entanglement has to happen. So
And
whoever,
even the negative entities, like whether it's jinn or well, whatever, negative, I'm talking, they love music. And everybody that I've spoken to in this field has said that stop music, because they really like music. It doesn't matter the language, it's the beat, it's the rhythm, it's the
yeah,
frequency.
frequencies, yes.
Yeah,
And if you see nowadays the songs, they are
yeah,
opened, they opened up, they will give you all evil stuff,
yeah,
even visuals in the song as well. And the
yeah.
frequency, so it's like really crazy.
I
But
mean, that's done deliberately. You
yeah,
know, in America, they do it deliberately to create more criminals, especially within the African American community. So before, rap music was fairly clean, you know, it was okay. It was like more motivational. Now rap music is very dark, very, nasty, derogatory. And what it's doing is it's creating more violence, negative frequencies, and the jails are filling up, you know. People are going crazy. Look at the gun problems, you know.
true.
It's very deep.
Yeah. I hope people will
I
understand.
want to ask you both a question because I wanted to. I listen to the same way. The music obviously has the same impact, but have you not discovered the vibration and the frequencies within the music range, that who and which voice that you only play and you only listen if you have to, the octaves or the notes, that which notes actually are higher vibration notes for you and your body, which makes you sorrowful or the negative state, whatever your emotion, personal emotion is. So have you not been able to find out, or is it still every type of music, still rhythm disconnects you or takes you to the lower one?
Uh,
Actually, every kind of music is that's why it is it falls into haram. The reason is that it does affect your heart, your mind, and it makes you think according to that beat and rhythm. It makes you go away from the actual nature, and that's why it is haram. So every kind of music for that matter, but during Eid and celebrations like wedding celebration, it's allowed to beat the daf. And the criteria given there was that it should be an instrument without strings, so no guitar, sitar, and stuff. So without strings and without voice or the sound coming with the air puffing. So piano, harmonium, or even dhol. So anything like daf, which was open from one side and just one lid over, can be beaten during celebrations, because that is less, what I should say is impacting on our system than those other instruments. And that's why music was given only certain specific places to be applied, not everywhere and all the time, because it takes away your heart. It does impact your heart. It captures your heart. And lots of people ask me, times like they will ask me, how did I make my children do hifz so early? It's because there was no music in their lives. The only thing is the music was replaced by Quran, so it was easier. If you have music, the Quran leaves your heart. If you have Quran as the music, then it fills your heart. You don't need the music. That plays the music for you. So that's about all music and all rhythm. That's why I was explaining it to you. Anyway, since Kamal asked me about few things that of course, I've done the tafsir of Walasar, but it has been long time ago. It's years back. And I did not go through that. I was just going through all your talks and the contemplation, that because you see, every time we go into Quran or we go into these things, we find gems every single time.
exactly.
It's been 30 years I'm doing tafsir, but every time I make the tafsir of the same surah also for another group, it's like I'm doing the whole thing all over again. It's like the whole thing is new for me. So I was just going through the word wal asr, and again it came to me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's like wallah. We say wallah, that means I swear by Allah.
Yeah.
But we can only swear by Allah since only Allah belongs to us and we belong to Him. But everything else belongs to Allah. So when Allah is trying to tell us, in different surahs, Allah will talk about waladiyat, wal asr, or anything like this, wal fajr,
Watini was Zaituni.
watin, Allah, everything belongs to Allah. He's just trying to tell us everything belongs to me. So I can swear by anything. Excuse me, sorry.
No problem.
I think I got cut off because this got connected somewhere else. Okay, 1 second. I don't know
No,
where
we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So wal asr, when we say so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahu Akbar. Just give me a second.
Maybe you can turn your Bluetooth off.
Yes, I think so. And I will just tell her not to call because this is somebody's calling me for some reason. Saima, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back. Okay. So yes, now again, where did I go?
Yeah, you
So
were saying
sorry
that
about it.
Allah is
Yeah.
swearing upon
Yeah,
the things that.
sorry. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he's swearing by anything, here wal asr, he's swearing by time. And he's trying to tell us so many things in just wal asr. It's not just that he's saying that I'm swearing by time. He's also trying to tell us time belongs to me.
Hmm.
Okay? You are in my timeline. Time
Hmm.
belongs to me. It's not yours. हम समझते हैं ना, we think it's my time, my life. It is not. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling that time belongs to me. So everything that's inside time is also mine. When I was doing tafsir, it didn't come to me. Now it's coming to me. You see, every time I go through it, it comes to me. It's like that. My students also always say that every time you give the same tafsir, it's all different. I say because all becomes different to me. What can I do? So, wala sir, Allah is trying to inform us that it's not your time, it's my time, and you are in my time. Okay? And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about wal asr and the prayer time is made as asr, like you people were discussing, I wanted to explain that time, but I didn't want to interrupt then. Why asr salah is more important is because it is called the salat al-wusta in Quran, the middle salah. Okay. And when Allah says salat al-wusta, it's fajr and asr both can be taken at salat al-wusta, because if we count our day starting from maghrib, as the Islamic calendar says, so if you start from maghrib, then maghrib isha, the middle salah is fajr. If we think, okay, the day begins with the sun and the day begins from fajr, then fajr, dhuhr, asr becomes both the salah are 4 rakas. Okay. It is 2 sunnah, 2 fard for fajr, which cannot be reduced even in travel. It will always remain 4 rakas. And 4 fard for asr. Both is 4 fard, 4 rakas. Both of them come at a time when person is sleepy. This is the siesta time at asr, and fajr time you feel sleepy because it's the morning time, early time. Okay. And both the times are times when we start feeling slightly lazy or down or lethargic or whatever. And that's why these are very important salah. And in Sahih Bukhari, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about, he's giving example of somebody who misses a fard salah. He gives example of asr salah, not any other salah. He says a man who misses asr salah is somebody as if he has lost his property, wealth, family, everything, just because he missed asr salah. So much importance for asr salah. Why? Because again, asr and fajr are the 2 points of time when the angels, guarding angels who are there down, they change. It's a change of guard. So the angels who were with us from fajr, they go at asr. And the new angels come down at asr. It's a change of guard time, asr time. Okay? So you know how it is. When the changing of guard takes place, they will see us, how they left us. And those who come, they see us, what we were doing. And even in Jummah, they say between Asr and Maghrib is the, Sa'at al-Ijaba, the time of dua. because it's the ending part. Even in your roza, when you are fasting, you're supposed to be praying more between Asr and Maghrib, because it's coming to the end. You're coming to the end of the day. You're going to break your fast. A new day is going to begin at Maghrib. And this is the time when you've done whatever you had to do. And now Asr to Maghrib is when you're going to think about it, contemplate. And it's a time of contemplation, not just time of dua. You make dua, and it is time to contemplate between Asr and Maghrib. So Asr stands for contemplation, contemplation of time, contemplation of knowing what your role is in that time. It's not just you are in the time. What are you doing in that time? What is your role? You're in a capsule of time, okay? And in that capsule, you have been given certain tasks to do. Are you doing them? Are you at least finding the purpose of being there?
And I'm just thinking right now, as you are talking, that when we are talking about Asr, like, as it's the most important time, and that's where most of the people are feeling lethargic. And
Yes,
I also know, oh, why in between Asr and Maghrib you feel like sleepy,
yes.
you feel like, and that's why the very next, because innal insana lafi khusrin, because
Husser, everybody will
Asr,
be in a loss.
and in a law, you make sure you take care of Asr, otherwise you are in
Otherwise,
loss.
the whole thing will be a loss. The
Yes.
whole thing is a. That's why I told you that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that anybody who misses Asr Salah is somebody like he's lost everything. Everything. You know. And I used to always tell them that it's like you become a tsunami victim. You're standing with nothing with you. Everything is washed away just because you missed that 4 rakat of Asr. It is such an important thing. And Asr, also, when you think about the time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling it the time, it's the time that you're going to be accounting for. Every second, every minute. What you thought, what you acted, what you intended, everything is going to be counted. And you in the NLP class, once you said, when you were teaching NLP, I was doing my calculation differently, if you remember. That time also my mind used to always go to Quran and Hadith for everything that you were teaching. And I can tell you all the relationships I've made in the NLP. But when you told once that, if I show you a picture of an elephant, and then I will ask you the question, then you asked all of us, what did you see? What did you see? So somebody said, somebody would say that he's a big animal. Somebody says the gray color. Somebody said the nose. Somebody said the horn, whatever. Each one was seeing something different in that one picture. Same way, everything in the Quran, even if I give a talk, when there are people who are listening, everyone takes it in their own way, in their own, whatever their way of perceiving it, whatever, how they absorb it and how they, understand it. Each one will be different. And as we open the Quran and we read, we keep getting these different vibes, different colors of Quran that we go through. So when we talk about the time, the main thing Wal Asr reminds me of is that time is ticking. Tick tock. I have very little time. Allah is swearing by it. It's mine, and
Allah
I've
is swearing
given
by
it to
itself
you.
that it's in khasara. It's going. It's
Yes,
reducing.
it's going. It's tick tock, tick tock. You have very limited time left, and in that time, you have to show your iman, amal saleh, your sabr whenever the calamity comes, and stay on the path of truth. And no matter what, don't give up the right path. Stick to it, or else the whole thing is a loss.
Yeah.
You will lose the time, you lose your life, you lose everything that you've done, only if you can stick to the Iman and Amal Saleh and these 4 things, how you have to connect it with the time. And time is limited. Again and again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to tell you that time is limited. That's why swearing by it, that if you don't make use of this time, you will lose it and time will lose you. Time
Exactly.
will lose you.
As Muniba also rightly mentioned, that even one of the root word of Asr is also cyclone or hurricane, that just, and that you just mentioned about
Tsunami.
the hadith. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
like, everything
you
will
lost
be lost
everything.
because it's like a hurricane or cyclone, everything will be
Exactly.
lost. In the same way, Asr. So, I mean, I'm just, it's like
Mm.
amazing how one word can explain so much.
Yes.
And what is the next after that? Can everything will be linked to that word?
Yes.
That's so
Because if you don't value time, then you are in khasara. The whole thing will be a loss for you. That means the time you're spending, if you're going to spend it without a purpose, you're lost. You lost it. And what is the purpose? Purpose is Iman, Amal Saleh, Sabr, and Haqq. This is your purpose. Purpose is also given there. You have to understand that is your purpose. If you don't understand that, then the whole thing is lost. Time is a loss then. You're losing the time. So instead of celebrating our birthdays, we have to think about from birth till now, what did we do? Wal Asr. What did we do in our Asr? You know? And that's why Asr is placed as name as Asr. From Fajr when we wake up until Asr, what have we done? What have we achieved in this time? Okay. How have we made time meaningful, life meaningful for us? This is what a question that is there with us. So, subhanallah, these are my few thoughts on Asr. There are many thoughts, but this is for now because obviously time. I should give chance to others also. They have to say something
nice.
about it, inshallah. Yeah.
That's great. Alhamdulillah. Uh, okay. So, anything else? I think we have. I mean, we understand Asr, and as who was saying that it's like an anchor to us. Muniba was saying like the word Asr is now anchored to us. That how we will look at the time in that sense. So we can move from Asr now. Innal insana lafi khusr. Okay. And the beauty. So I was also looking for the word insan. Insan in Arabic, it's also coming from the word nasiya. Nasiya, in Quran also the word used nasiya, where forgetfulness. Whenever there is forgetfulness, it's actually the word noon, seen, ya. So that's also represent forgetfulness. So as an insan, as a human being, we forget things. And that's why insan comes from the word also. The root word is also is a word of forgetfulness. So that's why we keep forgetting about time. And that's why, because we are forgetting about time, we are in loss also. So it's the word insan is also representing a loss, because insan is coming from the root word that also mean forgetfulness. So this is, even when I was in the start of the class today, when I was saying that even each word is fitting perfectly to the context of the ayah, to the whole verse, the word. So innal insana, insan also is forgetfulness. So you are forgetting about time, you are in loss, because forgetfulness is also a loss. So this is even another word is also connecting to that. So what we will do now today, I mean, I think we can, from after wal asr, we can now focus on innal insana lafi khusr. Now innal insana lafi khusr, inna, we have to focus on inna as well. Why Allah is saying inna? What is lafi means? Why la and fi? La and lafi also forceful, emphasizing. All why Allah is you. Even Allah said inna. Inna means for sure, no doubt about it, right? And then Allah is using lafi also. Why again? If Allah already mentioned inna, why again emphasizing about insan? So we can also focus on that one. And the next, innal insana lafi khusrin. So after using inna, why la fi again? What is the particular thing about la fi? And what is the particular thing about insan? I just said one, forgetfulness. What else insan means? From what is the root word of the insan? And how this root word is fitting into each meaning or each angle of that asar, like extraction, essence, taking out the essence, time. So whatever the meaning that we took out for asar, how insan is fitting to each meaning, each angle of that ayat. Even though if you take the insan, innal insana lafi khusr, this is the ayat. Even insan is an ayat in sense of the ayat of a symbol, not the whole verse. But insan, the word is a symbol, also is a sign. Allah is using this sign, which is an ayah also. What this ayah or what this sign or symbol is telling us in relation to the asr, and in relation to the khusr. That's what I think we can start going further to that. And then we will go illa lazina amanu. What is amanu? What is iman? What does iman means? Except those who believe. What actually believe means? What we have to believe? Is this just a belief that, okay, yeah, I believe in Allah, I believe in God? Or no, there is some deeper meaning of a belief. What is that belief? That's actually now we can get into, I think, decoding this one. Then of course amilus salihat. If we get into amilus salih, what is amilus salihat? Which amal? Of course, Quran is full of all amilus salihat. It's explaining that what are the good deeds, what are good deeds, basically good actions. But we can search about it actually in Quran, what good deeds are mentioned, what falls into amilus salihat. And we know that action comes before actions there is a state, right? If you are vibrating in certain frequency, a certain state, then only action will come. And we know innamal a'malu binniyat. So niya is your state also. So when an action niya is like your intentions happen, then the action. And in parts integration, what we did, we separate intention from the behavior. If you remember, in parts integration, we start with the behavior. Should I stay or should I leave? Should I stay and should I leave is a behavior. But then when we chunk up, we separate intentions from behavior. So it means if you take some idea, a behavior, a deed, which we call, like, I'm just giving you, this is how I'm thinking right now to work on the remaining ayat of that surah. If I'm taking amalis salihat, which means the actions, make actions or good deeds, if I'm separating these actions from, how can I separate? I will chunk up, which is actions. What is the intention behind it? What is the purpose of this action? Even though some actions are looking like very good deeds, but if the intention is wrong, then this action. So if somebody is praying, it seems like very good deeds, very amalis salihah, right? But if the intention behind the prayer is to show off of something, then this prayer is not good deed, right? So if you see in parts integration, what we do, we separate intention from behavior. In the same way, no matter the behavior, whatever actions are showing up, we need to understand the niya behind it, the intention behind it, and that what separates. And like, so amazing that in parts integration, when actions are separated from the intention, and as much as your intention is going high, you become whole. The wholeness happen, the integration happen, because your intentions is getting higher. Now you are not staying on the behavior, whatever although we start with the negative behavior with the intention, right? But as we chunk up, we get into the positive intentions. And as much as positive intentions piled up, that's actually amal ibn niyat. Or amal salihat, sorry. So amal is good deeds, basically. And when your intentions are linked with the good deeds, with your actions, then actually we connect with the wholeness. When we feel whole, when we feel we are connected spiritually, when we are connected to the source, and we call it, when we do parts integration, what mostly, some of you already did a lot of refreshers. What people normally feel when they do parts integration, what are the words coming out from them? Can anybody recall? I will ask Gitanjali.
Light.
Gitanjali, yes,
Sorry.
Gitanjali, when we do parts integration, if you can hear Gitanjali, what are what people normally say after integrating, what they feel?
After integrating, they feel very much in line with God or universe. That's what happens. Like they feel oneness, that
Oneness.
wholeness
Exactly.
comes. Yeah.
Exactly. This is the word. Once our intentions are separated from our behavior and intentions are going up, I feel like wholeness. I feel wholeness, basically oneness. You feel one with the whole, or whole with the one, whatever you say. But this is actually the normal. When somebody is doing a deep parts integration, that's the feeling come. And I want you to keep whatever we have learned, keep that in your mind also, just to contemplate, just to see why it's so life-changing. Parts integration is healing, right? Those who have gone through deep parts integration, especially for me, and even Gitanjali, because she's also a trainer, she knows that how parts integration bring the change. So what is happening in parts integration, because that's what we know also. So we can contemplate also that why people feel that change, what is happening behind it. We separate behavior from and intentions. And when the intentions are going high, it's raised the frequency because of chunking up, taking the big picture, taking the wholeness, taking the big picture, and you reach to the oneness. So that's why when we get higher up, we reach to the oneness, and oneness is the haq. And that's why watawasaw bil haq. You see the next one, illa allazina amanu wa amilus salihat watawasaw bil haq watawasaw bis sabr. After that, haq will come when you will go to amal salih, you get to the intention, you chunk up, you will reach to the haq, which is oneness. So that's again one way of contemplation. Of course, there are so many other ways, but that's, and when you reach to the haq, then you do the patience. Then there is patience, no matter whatever is happening in my life, in my work. Think about it, when people are doing parts integration and they are having one part of me wants this, part of me wants this, and then they say, I don't care, I feel oneness and I have patience, I'm going. Even sometimes we know that people do parts integration, they don't reach to any of the decision, should I stay or should I leave. But what they say, it's okay, let's go on, which is sabr. Whatever situation is happening, I am just moving. Isn't it sabr? Isn't it patience? So after you realize the haq, you naturally get into sabr.
But to reach that haq is the road to reach, sorry, the road to reach the haq is also iman first, and then amal saleh. Without iman, the amal saleh doesn't count, and without amal saleh, iman doesn't count. So it has to go hand in hand. Then you
Exactly. So
reach
I
the
was
haq.
just thinking
That's the
about the
chunking you
decoding
were
of amal
talking
saleh.
about.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I'm putting it all together the way you said it. It's yours only. I'm telling how you said. And then when you put these two together, then the chunking takes place to haq. And once you reach the haq, sabr comes.
Sabr comes
Because
in.
that's the truth.
Yes.
That's the haq. And
Yes.
then there are many things that happen. And then you come to that point of acceptance.
Yeah.
That's where the sabr comes.
I'm linking with the parts integration basically.
Yes.
Yeah, because see, when we are divided into two ideas, this or so much stuckness, and then when you're stuck and no, I should do this, no, I should do this, or good way, bad way, whatever, you are just stuck both ways. So you want to do the evil, you want to do the good also. But when you see the haq, you say, no matter whatever is happening, I am just going, and this is sabr. And I think this is also, of course, there are so many other ways, but this is again from parts integration, from chunking up, reaching to oneness, and get into sabr. So I think we can think other directions plus this direction as well, because we see the change when people do parts integration, don't we? How it brings that change. And now, just now I realized this ayah fit into that as well, because we separate behavior from intention in that one. Okay.
Well, what was it that to reach that haq on the journey? First, we start with. Can you just repeat like the
We have to look
sequence?
at even we have to look at our behaviors, our actions. Okay, if I'm doing an action which I'm thinking it's an amal salihat, is very good.
Yeah.
Do I believe, first of all, iman? Of course, iman.
Yes.
And that's where we start. We will go into iman, depth of iman. We will work on the belief. What are beliefs? There are different types of beliefs. Like there is ilm yaqeen, believe on, and yaqeen is different, belief is different. What is amanu means, what is yaqeen means basically. So once you reach to that level, then you start doing the good deeds. And like in Quran, there is also one verse, an ayah, that they are thinking they are doing good, but actually there is nothing goodness, and they are thinking they are still doing good work. Now Allah is mentioning that people are thinking they are doing good work. For example, if I am doing this, okay, what I'm thinking I am doing a good work, but what if I apply this, that you are thinking you are doing good deed, but this is not good deed. What if it's not good deed, which I am only thinking this is good deed? How can I realize that this is really a good deed? Because this is same thing Allah mentioned in the Quran, that they are thinking they are doing good. If somebody is thinking they are doing good, they have all the reason to think, right? if let's say I'm praying 5 times and I'm thinking that I'm doing a good deed,
Hmm.
okay?
But the
But
intention. Hmm.
yes, so that's actually separates that you think you
Hmm.
are doing good deed, look at your intention.
Hmm.
So we have to, when we are talking about good deeds, it's as a lot of people are doing charities, and if you
Yeah,
don't
because I was listening to again a talk, and in that it was that if you are doing a good deed, like if you are at a charity, suppose you're at a charity dinner or something, and then there you have to announce publicly that, this much I'm donating. And if somebody, even your close friends, asks you, that, oh, you're donating this much, you have to pretend as if you've never donated before in public. You have to, like, not at all show off in a way that you have to pretend, oh yeah, it is the first time I'm doing it, even if you've done it 100 times before. The intention is to not show off or
but
not. Yeah.
yeah, there is this is the
Mm.
intention. But there is
Yeah.
one more thing in Quran about giving, about
Yes.
when you spend.
Mm-hmm.
The ayah says that those who spend in private and in public also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it means that you can spend, you can donate in public also. You people can know also. That's
Yeah.
also, but again, it
Yeah,
depends on
yeah,
your
you can
It's
intention.
donate,
both, I
but the
think, right?
humility should be so that you don't have to tell them the history that I've donated this much
Yeah.
before and
No,
that
it's
and this.
also you give
So
with one hand, the other hand shouldn't even know,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. So even like sometimes you have to donate to make people follow you if you're a figure who is
Yeah.
inspiring to others and you have the power to, um like inspire others and others
Exactly.
follow you, that's fine. But your humility
Yes,
and
that depends upon
your
intention. If I am
yeah.
doing, I am
Hmm.
donating, and I want, by me donating, I know I'm doing some good work. People
Hmm.
will start looking towards me, so I can
Yeah,
guide them towards the right path. That's the
exactly.
intention, not to
Hmm.
show off the in public to that I am giving. So that
Yeah.
again, it comes to, so every amal solihat, good deeds
Hmm.
comes to intention.
Intention.
So when
Okay.
we are
Yeah.
talking about good deeds, we have to ask ourselves, I am doing this good deed. I mean, today what I think I am doing good deed, but what is my intention behind it? If I my
Hmm.
intention, okay, with this good deed, maybe I get viral, people will blame me and I will bring more people
Hmm.
to my training, then it's not a good deed. So I have to
Hmm.
ask myself about all my good deeds that I am thinking that I am doing good deeds. Is it
Hmm.
really a good deed in front of Allah or in front of God? Like, so how can I know that if it is, then I have to introspect myself really
Hmm.
seriously, that what is the intention behind doing this chunking up. I have to chunk up myself, but I
Yeah.
have to
The
separate
purpose
my
of
deed with
this
my
is the
intention. Yes,
purpose of,
what is
yeah.
the purpose of doing this?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's, I think that's the decoding of the amal salihat that we can
Thank you.
contemplate about it.
Okay.
And
Thank
that's,
you.
I think, if we
Hmm.
keep this angle and we look at the Quran about the good deeds, what are the good deeds that is mentioned in the Quran? And we can even look at, we can, that's why, I mean, I did not do it and I am going to do it, inshallah, that I will take out the good deeds that is mentioned in the Quran, and I will see where the intention being mentioned about these good deeds. I mean, what is the linkage of intention? Because you don't know, you think you are doing a good deed, but it could be not, it is not good in front of Allah. So how can I know I'm really doing a good deed? What should be my intention behind those good deeds? And that's what will save us from the khasar of asar. So, and that will ultimately, chunking up will lead to haq, and then will lead to sabr, inshallah. And inshallah we will all do this. So just I think we can go for this one as well, right? So after that,
One more thing I want to add to
yes.
that chunking up and the huck you were saying, no, that when you reach that oneness, that's when you also start believing, right? That makes it easy for you to believe, because then if everything is accepted and nothing really matters, then whatever is there is with good intention, it's going to come to me. Just knowing that, which is also a phenomenon of quantum tunneling, if you know. Quantum tunneling is where a particle goes across the wall without going across the wall, like, without breaking the wall. What
Hmm.
is the key there? That the particle just boldly assumes that I'm on the other side. And that boldness of assuming that I'm on the other side, that it's going to come to me, it will happen only if you are at that chunked up, that it doesn't matter, and I've accepted all that under me, all the patience, all the work, all the deeds that I have done. All of that matters or not matters, that's none of my concern. But I am at a such an elevated state and at such a oneness that I can be anywhere and everywhere that I want to be, or that I'm meant to be. So that's when the how addiction can be dropped even with that chunked up state, which is the quantum tunneling.
Yeah, exactly. And if you go further, the quantum tunneling, what she was mentioning right now, that like everything is everywhere. That when you reach, or when you start believing that everything is already there, everything everywhere is already available. Okay, and we believe that, like for Allah also, Allah is available every single place, everywhere there is Allah, right? So I'm just connecting still. I have to put into words. So I'm not able to put in words. It's just coming up, but I'll put it. So thank you so much, Gitanjali. Also, it actually let me connect to something else as well.
Yeah.
So that's great. Alhamdulillah.
I'd just like to chime in for a second. Also, I was texting it actually that 100% towards is like 100% tawakkul is equal to believing 100% Allah is everywhere, because that tawakkul means that 100% Allah can do anything for me. And this connects to when Allah says, think of me, as you think of me, you're going to find me.
And
So
that
if
will
you think good of him, like if you think like 100% he's going to take me out of the situation, 100% full tawakkul, 100% towards, then that's Allah's promise that you will find me, you will, yeah, as you think of me, you will find me. So if
exactly.
you
That's
think of
why
me 50-50, you're 50% towards and 50% away, But if you're 100% towards, 100% tawakkul, then you will find, you will get from me as you find me.
Yeah, and this is also one other. I am like, however my servant is thinking about me, I am like that for
Right.
them. Yeah.
Yes, that one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people talk about hellfire constantly. When you hear them talk about Islam or the Quran, they only take out the parts where you're going to go to hell, and you're sinning and you're going to go to hell, and they
Towards,
create a
sorry, away
very
from belief.
Yeah.
they create a very like scary God, and especially children. People try to scare children. If you don't go, you're going to burn. And again, it's coming back to Gavel. What you said is that how we see Allah is how Allah is, right, for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's also very important. Great. So thank you so much. It was such a nice conversation today. And of course, thank you so much,
Can I
each
also
and
ask
every.
just one last minute?
Yeah, yeah.
Because Sadia said something which was interesting to note, that we should not create a scary Allah, and we should create a hopeful, loving Allah, but be scared not to upset him, not to anger him. That should be the balance, That's a kind of balance. And as she said, when you're trying to tell something to your children, supposing like even for music, some people think I maybe have told children that if you listen to music, you will be burnt in hellfire or anything like that. I used to just tell them that Quran is a very musical poetry. If you listen, it'll have magic on you, and they found that magic. You have to just keep saying it, and they found the magic. And I said, if you want to retain this magic, don't listen to the other music, then it'll go away, because that music will take place in that place. So it was something in a very loving way, it was inculcated into them, instead of giving them the fright of, something is going to drastically bad happen to you if you listen to that music. That is not the kind of things you tell people, because that way I don't think it really works that way. You have to tell in a much, much better way. And that's why, as you said, that, when the Iman comes, Iman is like milk. It's like fresh, pure milk. And if your heart is rusted, it's a rusted pot, and you put the milk in it, it'll break. It will not sustain in that. So if you want to pour the milk in a clean bowl, so you need to remove the rust, clear that, and then pour the milk, then it'll remain. It'll boil well, it'll give you cream. That's how Iman is. So always create a loving God, God who you love, who you don't want to make that God angry. That is how it should be. How you love your mother or father, you don't want to make them angry, make them upset. That's the kind of love we have to have with Allah also. And that's why you need the Iman. When the Iman is there, that love comes. And if the love is there, you do the things, the deeds, the Amal Saleh comes. So you don't do those deeds that make somebody angry. That's how it is.
Can
So
I add something?
yeah,
Sorry,
sure.
Dureshwar.
No, should.
Another thing I always remember is that Islam did not spread by vengeful words
Oh, not at
or
all.
angry words. I mean, if we look back at the Sahaba and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the way
No,
they spoke, the way Islam
very
spread,
gentle.
it spread by
Yes,
gentleness,
yes,
by example, and it spread in a
yes,
very different way from as what people try to do now. You
absolutely.
cannot force somebody,
No.
so
And
there's no
don't
compulsion.
force anybody, don't look down at anybody, because you don't know whose journey is going to go where, and they may actually
Better than
supersede
you.
you somewhere you won't even realize it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
never look down at anybody, because I worked with new Muslims most of my life. And it's so funny that people who've accepted Islam from absolutely, being drug addict and whatever, they picked up they picked up the Quran, and they went so far that today they are a Hafiz of Quran. The same guy you and me could have ordinarily looked down at, that look at this junkie. But today that junkie is a scholar. Okay? So you don't know whose journey is taking where. We have to just respect people and love people, no matter who they are, which religion they belong to. We have to have that love for them, in the sense that they are also creatures of Allah, and we don't know how Allah is going to guide them someday. And whose portion is Allah accepting. It doesn't matter whether you are wearing hijab or not, whether you are doing something which may be not looking so great, and maybe I'm doing something not looking so great, but you cannot judge. Only Allah is going to judge. Maybe something about you and me, Allah will like so much that He will bless us and take us to paradise. And maybe you are somebody who's a mullah or mullani, and Allah will reject something that He didn't like. So you don't know. We have to just keep doing our best. Otherwise, we are in khasara. Bas. So the only four things are, that's why sabr is given. Sabr also means no judgment to others.
So yeah,
Remember
I
that.
mean, I think we
Sabr
can.
doesn't mean only to have sabr in yourself. Sabr also means to have sabr with people around you and not judge them.
Yeah.
Don't think down about them. You have to have sabr with them. Mainly, it's about the surroundings you have to have sabr with.
Yeah. How about now start working on the next ayats, like
Yeah.
illallazina amanu wa amilus solihat wa tawasaw bil haq tawasaw bis sabr, and I'm very excited to see different
Yeah. There's so
contemplation
much.
and root words and all these things, and connecting with Yatlu, how it is connecting to these four prophetic missions.
Yes.
Because I am getting amazed with how everything is falling into the four prophetic missions.
Yes. Yes.
So just let's do this work from today. Yes, Arif.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
For
Inshallah.
Dr. She was talking about Sabr, and anyone can also, if they have any contribution, that there are four stations of Sabr as per me, like as I have researched about. Like you start from Sabr, there is Tawakkal as well on in it. Then there is Takamat. Then there is Raza. Raza, for me, it's like how it comes to people, but journey of sabr. You'll reach at different levels. So is when we're talking about sabr here in this surah, in this context, should we consider those stages like how one attains sabr? Should we take that context here, or we should
See,
not,
whatever
or
you
just take
can take
the
about a context of sabr, the meaning of sabr, what you just try, you just put in under that context of al asr in al insana lafi khusr illa so just see how this sabr meaning is fitting into this one, this ayah, this surah. I think we can do this way. So if you feel like there is this meaning, sabr means this. Okay, sabr means the one that you are one meaning of it. If I'm putting into this context or this surah, how it is fitting in. So what meaning it give me about sabr, or what meaning it give the other connected surahs, the ayat of.
You have to also think about, as Kamal is telling, you have to think about why sabr is mentioned in this particular surah. Why in this ayah? What is the context between Iman, Amal Saleh, why sabr
Haq
and
and
haq
sabr,
is
yeah.
mentioned at this time? That's what Kamal is trying to tell. You have to see what is the relationship of this with the things given in this particular ayah. Then it'll be easier to go and branch out and think and then connect with the Yatlu as well, so that you
Yeah,
see what was the mission, that 4 points, so that you
yeah,
have a more connection towards this surah and the ayah, rather than going into a tangent of just knowing what sabr is all about. It is to know how sabr will benefit or is in this context of this particular subject.
yeah. And then the four prophetic mission where it
Yeah,
falls. I
exactly.
think of sabr, it will be falling into the wisdom, wal hikmah. Because once you are wise, you have to have patience, because this is also represent the wisdom. So
Yes.
whatever, bil haq and sabr. Haq is wal kitab, where you allimul kitab, because kitab are the laws and the divine speech
It takes you to
and the
haq.
book. It is haq. Okay.
Yes.
And then after haq is wisdom, and wisdom is sabr. So
Sabr,
even if you
yes.
see with the four prophetic mission is falling into those
Same
things, but
lines.
also bil haq, but also bil sabr. So a wise person will have patience, and they know everything is going, even not in this world, we know we have patience, we are getting the reward afterward. That's also sabr. So
Yeah.
whatever I'm going through in this world, I know I will get reward afterward. I have to have, because I know the haq, I know the laws, I know what Allah has mentioned, the divine, and then I will have sabr, and that's also a wisdom, because it is linked to the prophetic mission. So sabr
And
is
the same
wisdom.
way, Iman and Amal Saleh is also in the same lines as you have put it. So Iman
Yes.
will go next to Haq, because Haq and Iman is in the similar level, or Amal Saleh will go into again
Purification.
where the
Like the first one is like a yatlu alayhim ayatihim.
yes,
So when you
and
read
then
the sign, you feel iman, you believe it. And then when you zakihim is amal salihat,
Amal
because it's
Saleh,
good deeds, which is you zakihim,
good deeds and
purification.
deeds that you do, that becomes that.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
see, even these four things are how it's fitting into four prophetic
Yes.
mix.
Yes.
Yatlu alayhim ayatihim is iman. Wa
Yes.
yuzakkihim, good deeds. Wa yu'allimul kitab is haq, and wisdom is sabr.
Yeah.
Thank Alhamdulillah. So yes, so I think we have good talk, and
Yes.
thank you so much
Alhamdulillah.
for everyone for this
Jazakallah
participation.
khair.
And this is, I think this is amazing that how we are discussing and participating, and this is lovely. So
Yeah.
inshallah tomorrow we will do it again with
Inshallah.
more
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
research, with more work onto that, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much,
much.
Kavali.
everybody.
Okay,
Yes.
Jazakallah.
I actually wanted to say something like I was just reflecting on like how we are taking every word and we are doing tadabbur. So I just thought that during the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his companions, the Quran also like was revealed over 20 years, right? So it was not revealed at a point that they could read the entire Quran, or
Hmm.
they also went like verse by verse or a portion by portion. Like over 20 years it was like inculcated into them.
Mm-hmm.
So like ours also is like a similar journey, right? Like we are taking we are going step by step. We're not um uh, in the race to complete.
Exactly. Exactly. That's amazing.
It's nice.
There should never be a race to complete.
Yeah.
Should only have the race to understand, to
Yeah.
get deeper meanings to it. Okay, even in Ramadan, lots of
Yes.
people have this misconception that they will very
Complete,
with
yeah.
vanity talk about, I've completed this much, you've completed, how much have you completed? And they bring you into the competition of completing surah
I used
after
to do
surah.
this
It
also,
doesn't,
and
I
it
have
used to give
never
me
done
so
that.
much anxiety. Oh my God, today is
Yeah,
14th of Ramadan, and I only finished seven.
yeah.
You
There is
know,
no competition here. You do as much as you can. You should do much more because you are supposed to connect with Quran in Ramadan because it's the month of Quran. Do as much as you can do it with meaning, do it with absorbing everything, do it with essence so that you are presenting something nice to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
uh,
You're not presenting some kind of recitation which is rushed through or run through. That's
yeah.
not what Allah
And
wants
I think what
anything in
we are
what
doing right now
quantity.
also, it's I think much more better to just rush
Yeah,
through stuff. It's much
exactly.
more
Yes.
better,
Absolutely.
much more deeper that
We
what
are
we are
trying to connect with Quran, with the meanings. We are trying to understand. We are trying to relate it. This is more beneficial than to
yeah,
rush through another juz without understanding anything.
yeah,
That's
Yes.
not beneficial.
yeah.
Right?
And yes, Bushra, it's amazing observation that yes, because Quran really revealed in 23 years, and it revealed verse by verse, and they were pondering upon it, they were concentrating about it. It's not like, going through the whole.
Yes.
That's also very good observation. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Great. So
Okay.
thank you so much. And really, I mean, I was feeling so down because today I did not even have sahur. I couldn't wake up. I wake up only at Adhan time. So I was feeling very low energy, but then the energy came in. That's what frequency, when you raise the frequency, everything left behind. So thank you so much, everyone. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.